Montgomery on the 20.
It's gonna be disgusting. This is this seat's nasty. Holy cow. Check. All right.
How much can a four-game stretch truly do for somebody with confidence,
Yeah.
experience, and everything that came with what you did last year?
Yeah, I think I think a lot goes into it. I think it starts with obviously being on break. So you're here like almost fall camp, so you're just truly working on your football craft. I think secondly goes into it is other guys believing in you and working with you to get better. And thirdly, I think it's also the competition. It wasn't any like bad team that we played. They're all like tremendous, great historically great teams, and obviously we're great in this past season as well. So and obviously on top of that with the defense that we have to play it all year last year with all those freak athletes in the front that are 330 pounds and would have ran a 4.8 if he didn't fall. But I think a lot goes into it. Like I said, I think obviously like just having that defense, playing the best defense day in and day out here can give you the most confidence possible to go out there and play your game on Saturday.
How much different do you feel right now than you did even in mid-November?
Yeah, I think a lot. I think some of it too is I feel like here obviously you have to play to find your voice sometimes. So I think it just took me a little bit to get on the field, obviously, and that's okay. Just trusting the process and trusting the Lord, and I think the timing was perfect in the Lord's hands, and that's yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I felt good. Just go out and play. Honestly, I didn't really blink. I didn't have to because, like I said, I think playing the best defense day in and day out, and then obviously just taking that next step with all the time that we had in just that playoff era where we didn't have school and stuff like that. So I was really here all the time and just making sure I knew what I was doing so I could just go out there and play.
You guys on the interior offensive line got a lot of experience, obviously, through the season, especially in the playoff line. Have you guys talked about maybe being a real strength of this team now that all four of you are back and have that?
Yeah, no doubt. We have the motto of like we only go as far as our line goes. And that's true to the offense. We're only going to go as far as we want to go. And obviously with that, you obviously have to find the voice and be the true leaders of the front. You got to be able to control things. Like Carson's got to be up there controlling the offense, and Josh, Padilla, and obviously Julian and Lincoln. Like what I mean. So like they obviously like we all have to be one out there.
How would you describe the offensive line, how it's coming along in spring so far?
Yeah, I think ups and downs for sure, but it's been great so far, and that's the beauty of it here. You're going against guys that are as good as you, and you got to use that technique against them to be able to beat them and stuff like that. And you just continue to learn every day, and you continue to enhance what you're doing and get better. And then if you're struggling in some areas, you got to figure out why.
How are some of the guys who transferred in? How are they fitting in?
Oh man, they're awesome. I can't speak about them on a good note as well. Ethan's amazing. He's done such a good job being able to just learn the playbook and stuff because it's obviously hard here. It's an NFL-style offense, and there's a lot to learn and goes into playing the positions we play. And I think Phillip's also similar as well. He's doing an amazing job as well. So it's been awesome, and the young guys are coming along as well. Jay Cook has truly surprised me. I'm not gonna lie, he's balling right now, and he's doing really well. Carter's getting there as well. He's doing great, and then obviously Doe as well. They're all good. They're all just good people that need to be in our little offensive meeting room. You know what I mean? Like it's a good crew that we have going along right now, and obviously last year's last year, and it's a new year, and none of us have earned anything, so we got to go and get it again.
What's it been like to transition to being coached by Tyler?
He's awesome. Coach Bowen, he's amazing. Talk about him, and obviously Coach Johnson and Coach Dickey, and then obviously Coach Austin Fields. Obviously having four guys is amazing because it's almost like you have four offensive line coaches because at the end of the day, like you have five people on the line every time, and for one guy to be able to watch every play in and out of the huddle and stuff like that, that's hard to do. Like you're never going to be able to just like look at all five and critique them and stuff like that. And it's just good having all four of them here because obviously like there's a set of eyes on one or two guys every time from each guy, and they're able to critique what we do every play.
Everybody knew last year what the defensive line looked like.
Yeah.
Is there a defensive you guys a little bit of coverage?
Shoot, yeah. I mean, Edric and K-Mag, they've been grinding, you know, and they got to step up just like some of us have to step up, you know, and they did a tremendous job and done a great job, and I think the guys behind them are doing a tremendous job as well. I think Jaquez he's right there. He's grinding and stuff like that, and it's been good so far, and they're getting better every day, and you can totally see it. They're getting some more fit in with Coach Patricia's defensive scheme and stuff like that, and it's been pretty cool to watch.
Is it amazing how much your status, your life, whatever has changed from this time a year ago? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's it a testament to? Sticking with it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
an MVP in the last 48 years.
I'm a big believer in the Lord, and just trusting in His timing instead of mine, and leaning on Him and leaning on His understanding instead of mine. You know, I grew up in a faith-based household, and you know, I just leaned on Him through hard times, and that's what it's all about. It's a process here. As much as you want to say something different, like being an Ohio State Buckeye, your time's probably majority of the people that aren't freaks like JJ, like it takes time. You're good, but like it takes time because you're going to play other guys. You got to learn the technique, you got to learn the offensive scheme, and everyone's time's different. And that's what I've learned here is you got to enjoy the process because it's your story, not anyone else's, and it's going to be different. Yeah. Yeah, I think obviously just what Coach Day said, just the narrowing down of the roster and stuff like that. And obviously last year what happened, you know, like we had obviously Seth and Josh go down, and a lot of us had to step up in different ways. And you know, Carson was rolling around at guard and center, and I mean, like we're all switch swapping and cross training because we got to do that. You know, like we got to be able to go play different positions. If you want to play in the NFL, Coach always tells us there's always only 8 guys that travel. So like everyone's got to know a different position because someone's going to go down and someone's got to be ready to go at that position.
What's your primary?
What'd you say? I'm comfortable, yeah. I mean, I played a little bit with Ryan and at Findlay High School, and you know, I learned a lot from Coach Kelly last year with his NFL stuff, because he's obviously coached O-line and stuff with the centers, and Coach Fry as well. And Coach, I'm getting more comfortable because last year I was doing a lot of season cues and stuff like that before practice would start, so it's good.
Look, were you asked about Ethan?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Is your primary position left guard?
Yeah, I'm just switching around honestly right now. Yep.
Hey, Luke, one last quick.
Oh yeah.
Last question.
After the screen pass,
Big crew today.
you and Tegra, you know, that was a testament to
Yeah. You talking about Texas? The Texas? Oh yeah.
the execution on that
Yeah.
play. Also, Travion made a couple.
No doubt.
What was it like to be part of that in the midst of that stuff?
Yeah.
Almost a perfectly blocked play.
Perfectly. And I'll give you this story, this background. So last year we ran a lot of periods with screens and stuff like that, and we never really went running the games. So we were always like, toss it out. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? Like this. We never run this play, Coach Kelly. What are we doing? Stuff like that. Yada yada yada. So we always joke about it. Like it was the perfect play to the perfect look. And you know, I'm not sure how much time was on the clock. I think it was like 14 seconds or something like that. So we were getting out there, and I'd be lying to you if I said like, oh, here we go. Like we're just gonna run the clock out with this play. And it was a perfect look. You know, it was the perfect play to the perfect look. And you know, obviously with all the scheming and stuff we do, and obviously running through the plays day in and day out during that time, and what we do even now, like it works because you know we were ready for it, and you got to be ready for it. And you know sometimes Coach always talks about just you know like when we walk through, we might only walk through a play one time before we play the game, but like in the NFL they also do that, and they got to be ready for that and ready for that certain look that possibly can show up, and that's what happened, and we ran it perfectly, and that's just a testament to the coaches continue to stick with it and us continue to stick with it.
Great. Luke, thank you very
All
much.
good? Yeah, thanks guys.
Folks, we have